What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today I'm talking college basketball bets ahead of Saturday, second round of the NCAA tournament. Before we get started, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. We are brought to you by Bet365, and they have a phenomenal deal for you guys where you can bet $1 and instantly get $365 in bet credits. You can take advantage of this by clicking the link in the video description below. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. The legal age for gambling in most states is 21 plus. All right, we're recording this on Saturday morning, so giving you guys a bit of a first look at the betting slate. We're going to kick things off with Maryland taking on Alabama. This is a game with an 8-point spread. The total is 144. I think a couple things are interesting here. First of all, Maryland in the Big Ten continue to want to fade these teams overall. We just saw Maryland incredibly shaky against West Virginia in the first round, whereas Alabama went out and scored 90 points, albeit against a 16 seed in a game where they barely had Brandon Miller, which is a main talking point here. Brandon Miller is dealing with a groin injury, but I went back, listened to the press conference, and here's the language used by Nate Oates and staff. Brandon Miller has been dealing with this since the SEC tournament. He played through it then, and they had the luxury of playing a 16 seed in round one where they could limit him to under 20 minutes planned. It's not like he had a setback in the game. This was a plan that they came into the game with. Him scoring 0 points has nothing to do with the plan, albeit a talking point, but nonetheless, it appears he's going to be closer to full health, and we're going to get more of the full Brandon Miller. And even if we don't, doesn't really matter against Maryland that much. Balanced team, not really good at anything, can't score on offense. And Alabama literally runs 12 players deep. Outside of Brandon Miller, you have players like Javon Quinterly playing more, Noah Clowney, Charles Bediako, Mark Sears, not to mention their deep bench. So this is one we're going to look at Bama towards the spread of -8. Completely fine with this. If you're building parlays, looking at money lines, Bama's a team, love adding in there at the -8, completely fine with that. And I actually think the total is interesting here with the pace Bama plays at. Over 144 is decent, but if you're taking this, I think maybe we could wait and get a better number late in the week. Going to our second game, we are going to talk about, let's see if it loads here, Furman taking on San Diego State. This is one we're going to be playing towards the under. The total in the game is 137.5. This projects to be a pretty slow game. San Diego State plays well below average in terms of pace. And then Furman, it's about the same here for them. This team is about average in pace too. So we're looking at a spot overall where we kind of have somewhat clashing styles, looking at a slow pace game overall. If you look at the offensive efficiency of San Diego State, they're 107th. Furman should be able, they're 105th. Furman should be able to defend them. Then on the other side, Furman's 4th in offensive efficiency. Well, they're going up against one of the best defenses in the country in San Diego State. They're 27th. Neither team has a real size advantage here. You've got Slauson on the interior for Furman. San Diego State plays with a slew of players on the interior. And it's not quite the height advantage that a lot of teams have over Furman. San Diego State 152nd, Furman's 285th in height. Both these teams pretty good at taking care of the ball. Both these teams pretty decent in the foul department. So you're not really looking at too much risk and breakaway potential for these teams. Literally think it comes down to this being a slow-paced game, one team that can't score, and one team that can but is facing an elite defense. Last game we'll touch on is Kansas taking on Arkansas. This game has a 144 total, and we're going to look towards the over on this one. Pace certainly lines up. We actually have two teams that play with the exact same possessions per game, and it just so happens that it's about 2 possessions over the league average on both sides. Now, both teams have been suspect on offense at times. Kansas, of course, they're just not deep. You rely on the scoring of Jalen Wilson, Kevin McCullough, and DeJuan Harris to a large extent. Grady Dick, of course, is going to shoot threes, and he has come on and taken on a much larger role for this team down the stretch. So Grady Dick's presence is solid for them. Arkansas also returned Nick Smith. So while this team ranks 124th in offensive efficiency, they got their best scorer back in the team. He had a poor opening round of the tournament here, but Nick Smith coming back should be a large boost to this team overall, and a 30% shot rate for him not out of the realm of question. As far as the ancillary stats, Height for these teams is about even. Rebounding slightly favors Arkansas. There's not too much to see there. And there are weaknesses on each of these defenses that the opposing team can exploit. I think mainly this comes on the inside for both teams. Neither team, particularly tall in the front court. For Arkansas, you've got the Mitchell twins if they don't foul out, which is a huge concern. And that is a concern in the game overall. They foul a ton. Kansas doesn't draw a ton of fouls, so maybe they stay a little more clean than we expect. But two teams that turn the ball over a lot, that could lead to a lot of points in transition. So right away, we are looking at over 144.5. That'll do it for us today. Let me know what you think about these picks and any others on the Saturday card. My name is Matt Gajeski. I'm on Twitter at Matt_Gajeski. You can find me there. Reach out if you would like. Otherwise, we'll be back again tomorrow breaking down bets. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you then.